You want to get your pad nice and smooth and level and debris free. Once you get your tarp down, it's time to set up the pool. 42 inch, 16 foot, it is heavy. This pool includes the pump, the filter, a ladder, and I've never seen this before, but this one comes with a pool cover. All right, you want to get your pool spread out. Now, it ain't got to be perfect to start with. Here's what your pool should come with. Comes with a ladder, comes with the metal poles, stand the pool up, comes with your pump, filter. This is all the connectors for the poles. There's all your plumbing. And I gotta say, it's a pretty pool. Start off by putting your pole in your foot. And then come to the top of the pole, and you put this T. It's got a simple mechanism that you can just push up and down, and it clicks in place. A whole lot simpler than the last one I had. Once you get that one done, you come over to your next one. You put your T in, put you another foot on, and one by one, it'll look like this. All right, what you do is the big pole is going to be the arm, and the small pole inside is going to be the leg. You're going to take your arm, and you're going to find your hole right here. And you're going to slide the arm in there. All right, once you got your arm slid through it, you want to twist the arm where the hole is on the bottom. Well, that hole right there to be on the bottom, so you twist it like this. Now you're going to push it in the T. You're going to match that little button in so it'll slide and connect. And it slides in and connects. There you got your arm in. Remember, that hole right there goes on the bottom. And once you get 4 legs on, it should stand up by itself. And if it don't, it's all right, let it fall over. You can't do this by yourself. It can be a one-person job. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, we got it set up. Time to add the water. You got your pool set up, but you also got to figure out how to get this ladder put together. Well, first, make sure you got all the parts. You should have 2 handles. You should have 4 metal rods. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. You should have all your plastic fittings and a bag of screws. Look right here on top, it'll have a letter A or B. So you want one A, throw that one over there for now, and you want to look for one of the B's. And your B will be right there. It'll be the black one. It'll have the letter B on it. All right, once you got these 2 together, what you want to do, you want to get your plastic pieces here. Let's bring y'all a little closer. Find your bag of these. And you're going to slide it down all the way to this notch. And you want to slide it with the lip down, just like this, right there. And you want this little piece right here to be facing away from this bar, inward. Then you're going to take your step, and your step's going to have a letter A on it, a letter B on it. For the A, you go on the A side, the A rod. Or just slide it down like so. Just slide it right down just like that. And you don't need no bolt or nothing, that's going to hold it there. Now let's work on the B side. Get you another one of these. Remember, you want this lip to be facing down. You want this to be facing away from the bar. So if the bar is facing this way, you want this notch to be facing that way. And take your step and slide over it. And there's your first step. Doing this process until you get all the way through, and then we'll work on another one. All right, now we've got the second one done. Grab your step. Make sure you got the A on this side on the A rod. Slide it down. All right, that's one ladder finished. Let's do the other one. Now all we gotta do is connect both sides together. Now bolt this on. I like to screw on the inside and the plastic nut on the outside. That's the way I do it. You're gonna need a Phillips or a flathead and probably a pair of pliers. You don't wanna over tighten it because this is a plastic nut, it will strip out. All right, now to put your bracing on. You should have 2 bars that look like this. These are gonna go just like this. Now your ladder's finished. It's that simple. You didn't need no help doing it. Look, if I can do it, you can do it. don't know the weight limit on this thing. I hope I ain't too heavy. Pool's looking good, but before it gets too full, make sure you go ahead and hook up them hoses. All right, let's hook up a water pump. Make sure you got your pump with the filter. Make sure you got 2 short hoses, 2 long hoses, a bag of goodies there. There's some stuff you definitely don't want to throw away, even though you don't need it now. To clean stuff, you're gonna need these plugs right here to keep the water from flowing out. So don't lose these. If you ever drain water out, you're gonna need this right here. Everywhere you got a hole, there should be 3 spots. You want to put one of these in it from the inside. See the one with the real fine screen? Those go here and here. The one with the big opening right here goes right there. And just push it in. All the way in like that. We'll do the same here and there. Just push it in like that. Start with a small hose. Now slide this over the, take your clamp, put it over like this. Alright, just tighten it down. You don't want to do it too tight because you don't want to strip it. Now come to the end of this pipe and put your T in. Alright, take another clamp. You really don't need these clamps. This water's not under pressure, so you really don't have to put these clamps on here actually. But we're going to do it because they provide it. Take your other short hose, slide on the other end. Alright, you want to take the other end of that short hose. We're going to connect it right here. Slide it on. Alright, so far you've got one short hose connected to a T and the other short hose connected to a T. Now, what you want to do is you want to take one of your long hoses and you want to connect to the bottom of that T. There's one up higher. This was called B side. Alright, you want this side going to the tiny hoses. You want this side right here, A side, you want it going over to your big hose. We're going to connect the small hoses with the big hose up to this side, B. You're going to take your other long hose and you want to run it from here to side A. Now finish putting all your wing nuts and your connectors on and you're finished. And that's how simple this pool setup can be. Well, if I can do it, you can do it. We're going to figure out which vacuum is the best. Stay tuned for that video. See you tomorrow.